Welcome to the AACFB's 2023 Meet the Funder webinar series. My name is Monica Harper. I'm the Executive Director of the AACFB and I will be your host. Our presenter today is Valerie Carwell from Navitas Credit Corp. Navitas Credit Corp is both a funding source member and a silver sponsor of the AACFB, and I'd like to thank them for their support of the association. Before I introduce Valerie, I'd like to go over a few items to make this webinar more enjoyable and informative for everyone. During the presentation, you should see a Q&A box that allows you to ask questions. If you have any questions during the presentation, please submit your questions in the box and they will be answered by the end of the webinar. The entire webinar should take no more than 30 to 45 minutes. For those of you who would like to review this webinar at a later date, it will be posted on the 2023 Meet the Funder page of the website and will be emailed out to the membership. At this time, I'll turn it over to Valerie. It is all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Monica. And a hello from beautiful and hot Columbia, South Carolina. I'd like to extend my gratitude to the AACFB for giving Navitas the opportunity to present today. We have long been a proud AACFB sponsor and consider these sorts of opportunities to be a real honor. And I also want to thank all of you for joining us as well. My hope is that for many of you listening in today, we might represent value as a potential funding source. Today's topics that I will be covering is a brief introduction of myself and my time at Navitas, followed by our company overview, programs and services, our broker portal and tools, followed by time for Q&A. So with that, let's get started. My name is Valerie Carwell. I'm my business development representative, here at Navitas PSC. I started with the company back in 2018. And I have worked in our customer service and funding departments, and I currently hold the current role as a business development here for a little over a year, and I have enjoyed building relationships and getting to better know our partners. Now diving into who we are as a company. Navitas was founded back in 2008 and is a nationwide provider of equipment finance products, primarily to small and medium-sized businesses. We deliver products through various origination channels focused on diversifying equipment types, industries, and geography. This broad expertise enables Navitas to provide optimal financing solutions to your customers nationwide. Our parent company is United Community Bank, a $19 billion bank in assets that is based out in Georgia. We are proud of the fact that we have a parent bank that gives us stability in both good times and bad. It's in times like these where there is a lot of uncertainty out there that it's good to know that your key partner is on solid footing. Today, I will be presenting specifically on the partner funding division of Navitas Credit Corp. We became a part of Navitas back in 2011. And one thing that makes us unique is that we are made up of two separate teams under the Partner Funding Division umbrella. One is focused on asset-based lending, and the other is based on credit-based lending. Ultimate Financing in Grand Island, Nebraska is an asset-based lender that views deals mainly from the perspective of the type of collateral being financed. We lean more towards collateral types such as titled equipment, car wash, construction equipment, industrial, the list goes on. They know and understand those types of equipment and the business profiles of those borrowers, allowing for customized approvals that can get A pricing even if the deal doesn't fit perfectly in the box. The Navitas Partner Funding Credit Team in Columbia, South Carolina, which is the team I work with, emphasizes key credit aspects in the underwriting process, like time in business, personal credit, comp borrowing history, and mortgage history. This allows us to be generalists in our collateral and industry appetite and consider higher soft cost transactions as well. We finance everything ranging from medical practitioners to restaurants, 100% soft cost or software transactions, franchise, office furniture, the list goes on. It really is all about the credit of our credit-based lending team. Now, of course, we can't finance everything, A few types of collateral and industries that we do not consider at Navitas are long-haul trucking and sleeper cabs, car haulers, Class 8 only, dry vans and reefer trailers, salvage or rebuilt titles, solar panels, and aesthetic lasers and med spas. And those are a few of the restricted areas that we get asked about frequently. It should be noted that although long-haul trucking is restricted for us, we are able to consider local delivery and service vehicles when it comes to title-specific or titled equipment specifically. Nevertheless, the list of equipment and industries that we absolutely consider are wide-ranging, and we couldn't fit all of that on the screen today. Now we'll take a quick look at some of the various programs and services we provide that give our broker and lessor partners the tools to grow their vendor and customer relationships. Navitas is first and foremost an A to C+ credit quality funder. We consider deals ranging from $10,000 to $2 million and on, in terms from 12 to 84 months. We handle brokerage requests ranging from a small one-man broker shop to the larger, more sophisticated lessors. We also consider discounted deals, and we even purchase portfolios from some sources on a monthly basis. As opposed to some other lenders in the marketplace, we do not auto-score deals, and our experienced credit team makes common sense decisions based on the information provided and the third-party reporting we use in our underwriting process. Every application we underwrite is touched by a human. Despite the fact we don't auto-score, our response times are still among the fastest in the industry, especially on app-only requests where we normally respond within 2 to 4 hours. When it comes to reviewing full financials on commercial deals, response times will be a little bit longer since we are having to review financials. So I'd also like to point out that our funding turnaround times are within 4 hours. Our main product is our app-only program, which is available up to $250,000. We also have a full financial disclosure program, potentially up to $2 million for the strongest of credit. On full financial statements, we like to say we do our best up to $500,000 because we're able to decision those deals using our in-house credit team, and we don't have to secure an approval from our senior credit committee, which is located in Florida. With that said, we do look at larger deals for our broker and lessors all the time. We also consider startup deals for up to $50,000 for the borrowers that have good credit and prior industry experience. And we also finance titled equipment, which we mentioned earlier. Something we really pride ourselves on is working with our partners on tailored programs specifically to meet your needs and the needs of your customers and vendors. Some examples of this approach would include custom documentation, structure, and unique underwriting approaches. Maybe you're working on a specific collateral type within a given industry that requires some aspects of the underwriting process to be handled or viewed a little bit differently. After all, we all know that not everything fits neatly in a given credit box with any particular lender. We also offer flexibility when it comes to structuring deals, such as zero advances, deferred or seasonal payments, unique residual situations, and those are just a few that we can name. While most of the business our brokers fund through Navitas is for small to medium-sized businesses, we certainly do deals with larger borrowers that go corp only without personal guarantees for well-established companies that have a prior history of borrowing on a corp-only basis. Also, pre-funding qualified vendors prior to equipment delivery is something we're very much accustomed to and do on a regular basis. And we have a highly experienced credit team with an average tenure of 5+ years. I know many of our credit-based team located in South Carolina have been working together since the 90s. And with our division working with third-party originators, it requires that we have an extra level of due diligence. Our credit team will be looking to confirm the business existence, time in business, ownership, what industry they operate in, as well as where they operate. The credit team also takes into account how the equipment will be used, how much it costs, and if it makes sense for their industry. Our team makes decisions with the matrix that's based on transaction size, if the transaction is corp only, and if a personal guarantee is involved. Although partner funding credit and ultimate financing may look at deals from a different credit perspective, we hold to one credit policy held by our company. And I have great news. We do not charge interim rent on our standard equipment finance agreements or leases. We know interim rent can make things complicated when you're discussing terms and structures with your customers. So our brokers often tell us that's another aspect they appreciate about working with Navitas. And we are very proud of the industry-leading broker portal. It's a site that was built in-house by our developers, so it really meets the specific needs of our brokers and lessors. The system allows you to see your history of application with Navitas and the current status of the deals in process. Once the deal is approved, document generation and DocuSign functionality is offered. For you, there's the flexibility of choosing to use our documents in our name or using our generic documents in your name if you're approved to work with us as an assigner or discounter. Documents can be generated to a PDF for email distribution and wet ink signature, or they can be sent directly from the portal for electronic signature. On top of that, the site also allows you to keep up with the status of that DocuSign envelope and manage that envelope in a number of different ways, from correcting email addresses and resending documents to voiding the envelope altogether. As a convenience and a free offering to our dedicated broker partners, we also offer a program that allows you to submit a document request form and have us prepare documents on your behalf. One document we offer our brokers that we want to highlight is the electronic acceptance and contract activation form. Everybody knows that the challenges associated with trying to track down a customer for verbal verification in order to get a deal funded. Well, when the customer completes the electronic acceptance contract activation form via DocuSign, we don't need to complete a verbal at all. This speeds up the process quite a bit, as you can imagine, and it is a huge convenience for everyone, for you, us, your customer, and your vendor. And I know from my personal experience working in the funding department that this document was a game changer. One section of the broker portal includes some sales tools that our partners have found to be invaluable. For example, we offer a good customer report, which is a list of good paying customers and reflects a pre-qualified amount that you can use to remarket to them for repeat business. There's a preview of deal function that gives you an easy path to test the waters on a request with our credit team before you formally submit it in for a review. And you can even check to see whether a particular equipment or industry type is something that Navitas will consider. And there are other areas where we leverage technology to help our business partners grow their business as well. We offer creative vendor web tools aimed at capturing online customer leads where customers are visiting your vendor's websites. There's an online credit app, a finance resource center, and finance as low as buttons for your vendor sites that are all designed to prompt potential customers that are on the website to apply for financing as early and often in the buying process as possible. Above all else, you'll find that at Navitas, we are very relationship oriented. We believe the best business you can do is a business of working with strong partners that you know well. Along those lines, when you send a deal to Navitas, you don't have to go through a sales representative when you work with us. You can have direct contact with the credit and funding analyst that you're processing, that's processing your deals. We want to get to know you, your credit, and your funding personnel if you have a larger shop. And we also want to work together with our eye on the long term and take that approach to grow our shared business. We all know we're facing a downturn and a bit of uncertainty on the horizon. We also know that our broker and lessor sources want to work with a funding source that does business the right way and be with someone they can count on for the long term. We're looking for partners to work with that take the same approach, and we're actively considering new broker relationships with established companies or where there may have been sufficient prior experience working in the equipment financing industry. If you think you'd be interested in working with Navitas or would like more information, please contact us today at partnerfunding@navitascredit.com, or you can call us at 800-516-0761. With that said, thank you very much for your patience, and we'd like to open things up for any questions you might have.
Great, thank you. We do have a few questions, and just as a reminder for everyone, if you have a question, please type those in the Q&A box and we will get them answered for you. The first question is, what are the requirements for brokers to sign up with Navitas?
We do ask that our brokers have at least 2 years experience, whether that's with the company that you're working with now or just experience in the equipment financing industry. And so we ask for that, and we also ask that you guys have the ability to pull personal credit. That's something we ask for our brokers just to make sure that, and I guess I should back up and say I'm talking from the credit-based lens. For us, we like for our brokers to be able to pull credit so that we know you're previewing the deal and making sure it's a fit for us before you send it in. Now, I will mention that we don't have any volume commitments with our brokers, but we do like to look at efficiency.
And I will remind our members that we do have 3 different credit bureau discount programs available to our members. So if you're not pulling credit now and you want to, go to our website and you can look at those discounts. The second, do you fund tow trucks in Florida and other states?
Yes. We do look at titled vehicles and tow trucks. I will mention that for us, we look at titled vehicles up to 15 years in age or 200,000 miles. Anything over that, we do ask for a credit manager to approve those types of deals. And we do also look at private party sales.
That was the next question, was do you accept private party transactions?
Yes, we do. Yeah. I will mention also with private party sales that prior to funding, we do ask for site inspections, but that's the only caveat to the private party sales. We definitely consider those inspections.
Great. Do you have age restrictions on the equipment?
Yes. So for us, we say up to 15 years, but really what we focus on is more of the mileage. So if you have a vehicle that's under 200,000 miles, but it is over the 15-year mark, that's something we would consider. We would take all aspects of that into consideration. But for the most part, it's up to 15 years or 200,000 miles, and after that, we would need to get it approved by management.
Do you offer sale leasebacks?
We do consider sale leasebacks. It has to be within 60 days of the equipment being delivered. But yes, we can consider those types of transactions.
I think the next one is a refinance or leaseback, but same deal.
Yeah, so we do not consider refinancing. I would mention that, but for the sale leaseback part of it, it would have to be within 60 days.
Okay. The last question I hear, I think we've already covered this, but it says ag or commercial equipment age restriction. So I don't know if that's different than other types of equipment, if you have different age restrictions depending on the equipment.
No, the only age restrictions we have are on titled vehicles. I will say, kind of going back to the list of restricted equipment types, we also do have a list of restricted industries. Unfortunately, agriculture is one of them. But if you wanted to get more information on what equipment or industries are restricted for us, definitely contact us and we can send you, that information.
Okay. This one says, sorry if you already answered this, but do you consider long haul trucking or over the road trucks? And if so, are there any fleet requirements?
Unfortunately, we do not consider over the road or sleeper cabs. We focus more on the local service vehicles.
Great. That is all the questions I have. I'm going to give it just another minute or so if anybody has any other questions. Otherwise, we will wrap it up for today. Nope, I'm not seeing anything. So with that, since there's no more questions, we will end the webinar for today. I want to say a big thanks to all our participants, especially our valued funding source member and silver sponsor, Navitas Credit Corp. Thanks for a great job, Valerie. We want to invite everyone to meet with Navitas in person at our Commercial Financing Expo coming up this September in Orlando, Florida. And thanks again and have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.